All right. Good morning, everyone. I think my today I will be presenting to you business analysis, planning, uh, business analysis, planning, and monitoring. So before I go ahead, I think there's an introduction where I used to give, which I have to give to you. It says business analysis, planning, and monitoring are essential component of a successful project and initiatives. They ensure that the project aligns with business objectives, identifies and manages risk, and deliver the desired outcomes. So, uh, to start with, we are going to start with business life cycle, business analysis life cycle. When we say business analysis life cycle, the business analysis life cycle is a structured approach to conducting business analysis activities. It ensures that analysis efforts are aligned with project objectives and deliver value to the organization. While specific models may vary, the very core phrase typically includes the following. Start with number one, initiation. When you say initiation, you need to initiate a process. And to initiate a process, you need to understand the business needs. That is business need identification. This determines the reason for the this determines the reason for the project and its alignment with organizational goals. And also we have stakeholder identification. That is, you have to understand the stakeholders. You need to identify the individuals or groups with an interest in the project. With an interest in the project we are really talking about. And when you are talking about stakeholder identifications, you are talking about people who are involved in the process, in the business, such as the MD, the finance officer, the staffs, the customer service representatives. So these are a kind of stakeholder, and also the customers too. These are the stakeholders in a specific business. Also, we have the project kata, that is creating a document outlining the project scope, what needs to be done on the project, and the deliverables in such projects. So all this needs to be done under business need identification as a business analyst. Also, we have the elicitation. When we talk about elicitation, that is gathering of documents, techniques involved in gathering, and the required prioritization. And when we talk about requirement gathering, this involves collection of information about business needs, problems, opportunities. That is, as a business analyst and you are employed to make a change in a business, number one thing you do is to collect data, you collect informations that are relevant to the business. First of all, you need to look at the business, how it was run in the past, and what are lacking. And also you need to analyze this and the problems, and also identify where opportunities are and how it can be implemented in the business. That's for requirement gathering. Also the techniques you use in gathering the requirements. This includes interviews, that is one-on-one session with staffs in such organizations, trying to understand how the organization operates, because most of the time, where the issues are may not be open to the CEOs or the top management staff, but the lower cadet staffs are the one who has the information. So you need a one-on-one interview with the staffs, and also a kind of surveys too can be done when the staffs are not willing to sit with the analyst, maybe for fear of being singled out or something. You can just distribute a survey through email to staffs to work on, and submit same, which you pick up what you want from. Also, we have workshops. You can organize workshop in the organization. Through the workshop, you allow people make their contributions, and once their contributions are made, you can make your decisions with that. Also, you have document analysis and observation. When you talk about document analysis and observation, you are talking about analyzing documents that are used in operation in that business itself. These documents involves documents like maybe schedules, uh, 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 tellers and things like that. Maybe they use to approve a document they use for approvals, the approval process, the documents that they use. You need to analyze it and see if everything is right with it. And if nothing is right, then it's your job as a business analyst to make adjustments and send to the stakeholders. And also, you have uh, observation. Under this observation is you sitting with the stakeholders and observe how the business is being run. When you observe how the business is being run, through that, you'll be able to have a live understanding of the operation itself. You have a live understanding of the operation itself. So when you have a live understanding of the operation, then you'll be able to know where the issues are and how to make adjustments. Also, we have a requirement prioritization under the solicitation, where we have the requirement prioritization. What it actually means is that when you have when you have gathered your documents, then you need to prioritize what actually you wanted to do. So it has to be straightforward. What are the important things that you need to do in the job itself, in the project itself, so you won't end up end up wasting your own time. And so you have to make sure that your duties are well prioritized. So that's what we mean by requirement prioritization. Are you with me?
Yes, you are not alone.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so also we have analysis. When we talk about analysis, you have requirement analysis, you have the solution assessment, and you have the gap analysis. Number one, let's start with the requirement analysis. When you talk about requirement analysis, earlier I said we need to do requirement gathering. When you are done with your gathering, you need to analyze the data. So this data, you need to sit down and see what is frequent in those data and how frequent the errors are coming up. As a business analyst, these are your job. This is why you are employed, and this is why you are to look at where the issues are coming from. So with that document you gathered from the stakeholders and the customers alike, that is where you are going to pinpoint where the issues are. When you analyze it, then you understand where the problems are. Then you have solution assessment. The solution assessment is talking about you as a business analyst, you have understand what the problems are. Then you are to profile a solution. So by the time you are profiling the solution, you shouldn't be alone. You shouldn't make it about you alone. You need to work together with the what is it called, with the stakeholders. So you need to explore potential solutions. You don't need to be too rigid that it's your solution, that your suggestion might be taken once and for all. So you need to make this thing open. You and other what is it called? You and other stakeholders. You need to throw it open so that they can assess it together with you, so that you can get a better solution to the issues. And also, when you are doing this as a business analyst, your requirements that you gathered, you need to look at it critically to make you to use it to come up with the right solutions. I think so. That's it. Then we have the gap analysis. The gap analysis is simply to identify differences between the current state and the desired future state. So what this is talking about is, as a business analyst, you met a current process and you are supposed to propose a future process, which is solution. So what you are going to do in this respect is just you are going to assess the current process and compare with the suggested process. So when you compare it, then you now see the difference. That is what is going to be your solution. That is what is going to be your the solution you are going to give to the stakeholders. So that's what is meant by gap analysis itself. So it's all about identifying differences between the current and the future states of the process. So we have solution design too. When we talk about solution design, this is about developing a detailed specification for the solution, which includes functional and non-functional functional and non-functional review. So now when we are talking about solution design, you don't just, as a business analyst, just uh, bring out a solution and just say with your mouth that, okay, this is what we're going to do. You need to a kind of give it a kind of graphical representation of your solution. That is what you present to the stakeholders. You need to identify the solution, then give a graphical details of how the solution will be implemented. And that's what you are going, that's how you are going to present it to the stakeholders. At least that will give them a kind of idea of what you are talking about. And they won't be thinking that it's just, you are just talking out of your head that you don't really understand them. So by doing a graphical presentation, it's a kind of ways to bring them into your solution and make them understand that yes, you actually know what you are doing. And also we have the prototype development. The prototype development is simply creating a working model to demonstrate the solution's capabilities. It's almost the same thing as the above. So what you just do is you create the solution itself, like in a app now. You are trying to, let's say the business now, their process is manual and you are trying to automate the business process. So what you do is, and you want to automate the whole system. So what you do is you just create the app. When you create the app, it will be a prototype. You let them understand that, okay, this is how the app works. This is what you do. This is what you do when you log in, when you do this, when you do that. Before you get your sales, before you get to sales, before you get to order, this is what you do, this is what you do. So you just make a prototype for them and they go through it. And when they are okay with it and the stakeholder approves, then we have a design review. Design review is a kind of final stage when you are done with both above the solution design, prototype development. You need to sit with the stakeholders to review the design if actually it goes with their business process. So because whatever you do as a business analyst, you just have to ensure that whatever you do is in line with their mandate and it should not be out of line because that is the major reason why you were employed. And also we have a construction, that is solution development. You need to construct a solution, that is build the solution based on design specifications. Most times the stakeholders, they will give you a specifications which they want. Like they want, let's say in a situation like this, where they are having problems is the account department. But in that account department, not all the whole department is having the problem. Is the sales department particularly. So when you are addressing the problem, you should go straight to specification, which was given to you by the stakeholder itself, and address the issues and profile solutions for you. And also we have the testing and conducting various types of testing to ensure quality and functionality. So normally, whenever you provide a solution, you don't just assume that will be the end of it. You must test and conduct continuous tests so that you can see if the solution is actually working, and you just have to be on ground to continue to review them to see if it's actually working. And if it's not working, you identify the core areas where there are issues, then you address them. And once it's addressed, then you launch again and see where the whole things are. So now we have the transition. When you talk of transition, that is deployment of the solution. And you also have user training and post-implementation. Then when we talk about deployment, that is when you want to implement the solution itself. So why you want to implement the solution itself? And before deployment, you have the user training. You have to train the users. You know, they are new to the new system. You need to let them understand the process, what is changing in the process, what is being added to the process before they go ahead. So you have to make a kind of documentation for the process itself so that, or engage, organize a workshop for the users so that they can understand the new process clearly while you are on ground as well. And also we have the post-implementation review. What they mean by post-implementation review is a situation whereby after implementing the solution, you still be on ground. Why are you on ground? The reason why you're on ground is to ensure that there are no issues, and also to ensure that you get feedbacks from users or from stakeholders how the solution is actually going, and you are continue doing this till you achieve success with such projects. Also, you have evaluation, ongoing monitoring. You have evaluation. When we talk about evaluation, you have ongoing monitoring, lessons learned, and continuous improvement. This is basically talking about ongoing monitoring, that is tracking the solution's performance. That is to see, like I said above, trying to see how well the solution is being implemented, how well the stakeholders are adapting to the solution. So that is what is meant by ongoing monitoring. Then lessons learned, that is when you are implementing the solution, you cannot say there won't be issues, but when the issues arise, it should be noted so that you will know that next time you have such projects, you won't be having such problems again. So you will be avoiding such occurrence next time, because whenever you are launching a solution, definitely there will be hiccups, there will be problems, and the way you handle the problems will make you gather more experience. And also you have continuous improvement. Yes, this is talking about improving the solution. You don't just give a solution and assume that it is all in all. There will be issues, and when the issues arise, your prompt resolution, you as the business analyst, you have to be on ground to ensure that these issues are attended to, and the stakeholders themselves, they will always come back for improvement on the solution itself. So you should be ready to listen to them and try to adjust to the project details and try to adapt to the stakeholders needs as well. So that's just it. Is there any question from anyone before we can? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't have any question.